Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and this is what's in my toolbox, the series where I show you the tools I use to repair cars and fix things. So let's find out what's in my toolbox today. And in this installment, we have this Neilsen Universal Steering Knuckle set. The code is CT3592. Before we get into this, I'd just like to say if you're new here, or if you've watched some of my videos before and are not yet subscribed, please do so. If you could drop a like, that'd be great. I really want to get the channel up to 500 subs as soon as possible. I think it'll be a massive milestone. But apart from that, thank you for listening to that, and we'll move on to the next part, which is the tool itself. So let's get this case open. So this case we have multiple different things. So we have the tool itself, some pins for various different size holes, a little Allen key for adjusting all the adjustable parts. We have two of these little wedges for splitting different thicknesses of all sorts really. I picked this up to do a particularly stubborn ball joint in a steering knuckle that wouldn't spread with a chisel. I just couldn't get a chisel in there. This did the job pretty well for that. And yeah, we'll go through all the different bits in a few moments. Adjust the camera a bit. I get this tool set up. So it's pretty good. It allows you to get it out. It's quite hard to get out, unfortunately. It's quite snug in there. We have a nice bolt to drive down here, and this is the main part that does it. You always grease these when you're using it. I'm not going to use it to press any struts, so I won't need to grease it. Everything's fully adjustable, and all you use is the Allen key to get in there and tighten it down. If you tighten it down, and of course these don't have to be on the same space. You can put them anywhere, so if you've got one that's slightly shorter than the other, you can. If they're not centered or odd. The whole idea of this, you put this into the part with the knuckle you need to split. This part I just here. Then you tighten it down. And we have these various different style pins. And you feed these in, like so. And again, tighten them down with the Allen key. I wish I had filmed myself actually using this, but I was working away from home and I didn't have the camera with me. I just forgot it. But yeah, basically set it up. So like that. Have various different things. Luckily once this is in the steering knuckle, you can just spin it down and it won't affect anything. And that's a pretty odd setting, but obviously another thing about these pins are double-sided, so they've got four different sizes, or two different sizes on each pin. So you can see you get two sets of pins in total. And depending on the size of your hole that you're trying to position this in, whatever size bolt you took out of it. I will say if you are going to use these in bolt holes, to make sure that you just wrap these with a bit of rag or something just to help protect the bolt hole. They can sort of warp them, especially in the aluminium steering knuckles. So just something to be wary of. These are quite tough. Like I said, so we've got the biggest size this end, and then slightly bigger, and then the smallest, and the third biggest, I guess, lack of a better word. And we have the two wedges that are slightly different, as I mentioned earlier. So this is the smallest one. They stand up pretty well to the abuse. They have these little O-rings on them. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's got a little O-ring on there, which will hold it in place. You can replace the O-ring as well, just standard O-ring to replace it. Comes with a tiny little Allen wrench. You can use your own if you want. I keep this one, it comes with a kit, but useful. Another thing to say is this is a 12mm fastener just on the end here. So you use a 12mm socket or a spanner to drive this down. I found a socket work better than a spanner in my experience. It gives you a bit more torque. And like I said, make sure you grease all this. Bit of a multi-purpose grease is perfect for that. Obviously another useful thing about this is it comes with this nice little case to keep it all together and nice and all stored together. And that's what you want, you need to keep all these parts together, you don't really want to lose them. And just a bit of information in the back here. The case is pretty handy, like I said, it holds everything pretty firmly. You can adjust this so it's held in there, I can say the words today, held in there really tight. But yeah, pretty good. So moving on to my final thoughts of this now. It's a really good piece of kit. You're not something you're going to use every single day, but when you need to use it, it's going to save your life, especially when you're doing really stubborn struts, or if you're trying to do a stubborn ball joint like I used in this case. So I'm going to give this a 4 spanner rating. The spanners should just pop up the top here as always. And yeah, it's a pretty handy little kit to have. Like I said, you're not going to use it all the time, but when you use it, it'll pay for itself. It wasn't particularly expensive. If you enjoyed this video, why not drop a like? Any questions or feedback, let me know in the comments. I normally drop 2 videos a week, so if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, you should, and then you'll never miss another video. Do you know anyone else who would enjoy watching this video? Then feel free to share it with them. Thanks for watching until the end. Have a sensational day.